Welcome up to the top platform. This little nugget, his name is Dobby, so he is our youngest boy. He just turned 5, and you're welcome to use any produce you have in there. So this is our youngest, and his mom may come over. This is Capele over on the side. But when you're looking at Dobbs, he really is known for this spotting pattern on his chest. So reticulated giraffes have spot patterns just like a fingerprint. So every giraffe's spot pattern is a little bit different. And Dobby has a butterfly on the shape of his, in the shape of a butterfly on his chest.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
You're able to kind of look and see what he's looking like. He also can show off his big ossicones. So he has the largest ossicones of our 2, and they're still really black and fuzzy. And so that tends to be one of the biggest things for him. And he loves treats.
I see that here. I see that. He's
like, excuse
really
me,
just
sir.
hanging out. So I'm looking at his ossicones. So he's only 5, he said?
He is, yeah.
So, you know, I do know that when they get older, the males, they'll start to form a little bit more of the calcium deposits and bumps on their ossicones.
Yep, you're absolutely right. So when these guys are born, their ossicones are actually made of cartilage, so what your nose and ears are made out of. And then as they get older, they'll calcify and turn into more of a bone-like structure. And so being able to develop those as a male over time is really important. Often dominant males will use them to display their dominance a bit more, but he's growing fast and he definitely does have larger ossicones than his mom.
So we kind of jumped right into it, and we didn't do a little bit of an intro to who you are. So if you could tell, who are you?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Nikki, and I am our Conservation Engagement Manager here at the zoo. So my job is working with half of the zoo and all of the staff and volunteers to activate spaces like the giraffe platform. So spaces like Stingray Cove, and to really get people involved with conservation, engagement in a zoo setting, and being able to focus on what we can do for our animals both here and to be able to make a bigger impact on them as a whole.
I think most people know by now that I love giraffes. It's pretty obvious. It's my profile picture. I mean, I don't know. I kind of like giraffes, just a little bit. I do want to mention real quick, I did hear his father pass away.
Yeah, you're correct.
Recently. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it was a major bummer, but we were really excited. So Dikembe passed away in 2018, but he was actually the oldest male giraffe in zoos at the time in North America. And so he lived a really long, happy life. It was his time. But one of my favorite things about Dobby is he has a lot of behaviors that are exactly like his dad. So his dad used to play in hoses. So if you spray a hose water, he'll play with it with his tongue. And Dobby's retained that behavior, which is really, really fun. It's a little more playful, and he actually didn't do it until after Dikembe passed away. Yeah. And so he's really modeled some of those fun father-son behaviors, which is really cool.
So speaking of tongue, let's talk about that tongue a little bit.
Perfect. So giraffes have a prehensile tongue. So I'll grab a carrot so we can kind of show it off a little bit. As a young giraffe, Dobby's still learning how to manipulate his tongue, but it's really important for them to be able to reach out and grasp. So that tongue is actually prehensile. So much like a monkey tail or an elephant trunk, they use it to explore the world around them and to look for tools and be able to really successfully interact with what's going on. And so being able to stick their tongue out and manipulate it through things. In Africa, these guys are primarily eating ear leaf acacia, which has big thorns on it. So being able to move that tongue through the thorns and successfully get the food is really important to them. So one thing that's really important here at the zoo is encouraging that natural behavior. So the keepers try every day to make sure that he has the opportunity to do every behavior that he would be doing in the wild, including manipulating things with that tongue. So if you're looking around the yard, you may see different types of enrichment or toys or feeders that really encourage them to use natural behaviors in different ways. So our maintenance team was actually able to make him the equivalent of a giraffe fidget board so that he can really use that tongue and highlight what he's experiencing every single day.
That's top-notch enrichment right there. And that's one of my favorite things as a zookeeper, is discovering those different activities to get the animals happy and excited.
He is particularly motivated by different treats. And so Capele's favorite thing in the whole world is romaine lettuce. Dobby's favorite thing in the world are different types of produce. His favorite thing is parrot food, which is actually just dehydrated vegetables, which is really, really sweet for giraffes. And so he gets that as a really special treat if he does anything really hard. So any sort of training that he's really learning as far as like blood draws or x-rays or hoof work, the harder the behavior, the bigger the reinforcement, to make sure that he knows exactly what we're asking, that clear communication, and that we can make sure that he's participating in his healthcare every single day.
Now, I feel like I can tell something that you might be very similar to me in your love for giraffes, because I see your giraffe necklace there. So are you a little obsessed with giraffes as well?
Oh, 100% obsessed with giraffes.
Awesome.
Yep. So
Well,
these
I
guys
can
were
see.
definitely some of the first animals that I fell in love with here at the zoo. Especially this little guy was born a month after I started, and so he's always I feel like a proud mom a little bit, and being able to watch him grow up and see him progress in behaviors and stay really healthy.
Now, so he was, I think I was reading something on your guys' website about him, and he was a little small at birth.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So when Dobby was born, he was only 5 feet tall and 71 pounds, 73
Now that
pounds.
sounds like a lot for some people out there, but knowing that a baby giraffe is about 6 feet
you.
tall, right?
You are correct. So that is really teeny tiny for a baby giraffe. And he actually received a plasma transfusion from a giraffe at Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. So he was able to get the nutrients and the necessary boost that he needed to be nice and healthy and continue to grow.
Yeah.
And so he's been really successful since then.
Yeah.
But when they are a little bit small like that, one of the concerns from keepers is whether or not they're going to be tall enough to nurse. So we want to make sure that they have what they need to access the food that they want and that they need in any given day.
Like, so again, for people out there watching at home, I have worked with giraffes and I'm very familiar with them, but hey, I'm a guest here and I do what they want me to do. Obviously, I follow rules.
But his welfare is our absolute first priority in this space. So when we're up here with guests, the very first thing that we're looking at is making sure that he is feeling comfortable. So we can watch his ears, the way he's moving his head, the amount of eye contact that he's making, and a lot of his body language to make sure that he is feeling safe and secure at any given time. He does trust us and he knows exactly what to expect. So Jordan mentioned that he asked if he should be tearing up the lettuce. So being able to use these big sticks of carrots and big pieces of lettuce, this is what Dobby expects, right? So we want to make sure that Dobby is getting what he expects from us and from our guests that are up in this space, to make sure that this stays a really positive experience for him, as well as for everybody that's up here, so that they choose to participate in this every single day. So this is not something they're forced to do, but is an option for them to come on over, get a little extra treats for the day, and be able to see what's going on.
Well, Nikki, thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah,
this is really awesome. It's very obvious how much you guys care about these giraffes here, and it's very obvious how much he loves you. So thank you so much for your time, and have a good day, you guys.
Of course, thanks for coming.